Well, let's move on to other news now. And marking the first official visit by Ukraine to India since the Russia-Ukraine war began, its Deputy Foreign Minister Emine Dzhaparova is in India and will be in India for 4 days. Ukraine's Deputy Foreign Minister is expected to meet the Foreign Secretary Sanjay Verma, the Deputy National Security Advisor Vikram Misri, and the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Meenakshi Lekhi. On the agenda, the re-evaluation of bilateral ties, India's position on the war, as well as Kyiv seeking India's support to resolve the crisis. Now, Ukraine is also expected to seek humanitarian aid, including pharmaceuticals, medical equipment and tools needed to restore the nation's power grid. Ukraine's energy infrastructure has been severely crippled in this war. During her 4-day visit, Ms. Dzhaparova will also expand upon Kyiv's 10-point peace formula and call on India to aid in consensus building in its favor. Ukraine hopes to get an invite to participate in the G20 as well.
We also feel that we have this arbitrary, by promoting these values of justice, of peace, as your Prime Minister in Samarkand said, that it's not an era of war. I mean, we do support this purely and fully, but unfortunately we have aggressive countries who question the existence of other countries, and then the question of India's involvement as a leader in the global south, as a G20 presidency. I think that we hope that India would be involved and engaged into global issues and challenges.
And India is known to share close ties with Russia, but New Delhi has maintained that the Russia-Ukraine war has to be resolved through dialogue and diplomacy. And joining us now for more on this is Siddhant Sibbal. And Siddhant, this is the first high-ranking visit since the war began from Ukraine. What are the expectations from the Ukrainian side from this visit, even as the minister herself has hinted to India's close ties with Russia in a comment today? And also, how is this visit likely to be viewed by Moscow?
Well, her visit, of course, will be seen significant because this is the first visit from Ukraine since the conflict started last year. Now, earlier today, she met the Secretary West in the Ministry of External Affairs, Sanjay Verma, and the conversation were on issues relating to the peace point that was elaborated by the Ukrainian president last year. Now, what is her focus is first to make sure that the political conversation between India and Ukraine continues, and that is one of the key focus area. Earlier today, she spoke to media as well. She said that she has invited her counterpart to come to Ukraine as part of the political political talks between the two countries. And secondly, of course, is the presidency of India when it comes to the G20 grouping. The now big question is, will India invite Ukraine for the G20 summit or not? Last year, we saw Indonesia inviting President Zelensky for the G20 in Bali. He addressed the session virtually, but this time there hasn't been any indication from New Delhi whether President Zelensky will be invited, because the focus from New Delhi's side is that President Putin does come to New Delhi for the G20 summit. Also, what is significant is that the Russian Deputy Prime Minister is going to come to India as well in a few days' time, and that essentially starts a lot of visits from Russia to India, including by the visit of the Russian Defense Minister for the SCO Defense Ministers meeting, and then of course the Foreign Ministers meeting in Goa, where the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is expected.
Right, Siddhant, thanks very much indeed for joining us with the very latest there. So clearly hectic parleys there for New Delhi from both Russia and Ukraine.